So, hello, welcome to all the people. Today we are going to learn the Agentic AI. So let's get started. Today we do have the topic building the intelligent AI agents, right? Okay. So I already prepared the slides for you guys, right? Let's get started, right? Okay. So today we do have a different kind of agenda for the today. So mostly we are going to cover the AI part, right? Number one, we are trying to understand the concept of the AI. What is the AI? What is the generative AI? What is the agentic AI, right? And how all the thing will be work, like say how the AI agent is work, and what should be the React framework, tool calling, memory status, all the things we are trying to cover one by one. And as well as we are also trying to cover the multi-agent system, tool coding, and the real world application, how the AI will be used in the real world. So whenever we understand all the concept, you are getting all the idea how this thing is gonna be work, and we'll get the lot of idea for that. So we're able to understand which career is gonna be best for you. Okay. And then the last one, we are also trying to do the coding for that with using the Gemini LLM. Right? So let's get started. Number one, we do have a few concepts for that, right? How the AI is going to be evolved day by day. Because the thing is that in the AI part, in the AI field, we are starting from the scratch and then we will move further one by one. Day by day, there are a lot of new things will come into the market as well. And we must have to understand each and every one if you want to survive in the field of the AI, right? Number one, so we do have the traditional AI. Number one, we are having the traditional AI. Okay. So whenever I'm talking about the traditional AI, right? This one. So it is going to be a rule-based system. Traditional AI that means it's going to be the rule-based system. So what we do here, we are trying to cover one by one into the theoretical concept as well, right? So let's get started. Okay. Now let's get started with the number one traditional AI. Number one, we do have traditional AI, right? Okay, let's get started. Number one, traditional AI. Traditional AI. So whenever I'm talking about the traditional AI, right, it has a simple definition. It has a simple concept. Number one, as I said earlier, it will follow the rule-based system. So when I talk about the traditional AI, right, it always follows, always going to be follows a predefined rules written by the human. Predefined rules written by human. Written by human. Right? Right. So it always follow the predefined rules written by a human, but it doesn't learn automatically. We have to keep learning. We have to keep tell them what to learn and what to not learn. Right. So here we do have some condition. Like say, we also want to trying to understand how it actually going to work. Right. So the thing is that here we do have like say if condition will be applied here. If something will be happen, if something is happen, then some action is going to be taken here, right? Some action is going to be taken here. This is how the traditional AI will work. This is how the traditional AI will work. So whenever we heard about the spam filter, whenever we are going to heard about spam filter. So in the spam filter, It's going to be work on, like say, if the email will contain with the money or the any of the spam things, right? Then it mark as a spam. Like say, if the email will going to be contain as a, any of the filter, such as money or any of the thing, right? So it will going to be marked as a spam here. It's going to be marked as a spam. So here we are going to apply the if condition. If the email is contain a money, then it goes to the spam folder. So this is how the number one traditional AI is going to be work. It always follows a predefined rules written by a human. It always follow predefined rules written by a human. So there are a lot of real world example. Banking system is there, basic automation, chess engine is there, a rule-based chatbot is also there, right? These are the example of traditional AI, right? And one more thing we do over here, we do have limitation here because it cannot learn the new data automatically. We have to tell them, we have to keep the model to understand the thing. Okay, thing is that here we do have such limitation for that. It cannot learn a new data. New data, it cannot learn automatically. It cannot learn new data automatically. So that's the limitation here. Whenever I'm talking about the traditional AI, right? Number one, we must have to keep move further. It's called the machine learning. It's called machine learning. It stands for the ML, machine learning, right? So whenever we are talking about the machine learning, it always learn a pattern from the data. This is our raw data. It always going to be learn something. This is my raw data, right? It's going to be learn something from my raw data and at least giving me some pattern behind the data. So it always going to be learn, right, from the raw data and giving me the pattern. So simply it's called as the machine learning. And a lot of people were already aware of the ML here, right? And then if I talk about the ML especially, so we do have use a Netflix in our life, right? So whenever we are talking about the Netflix, so naturally we always sorry, Netflix is always going to be give me some recommendation every time, right? Like say there, it gives me a lot of recommendation based on the watch history, based on the watch history. So this is how the ML will work. It always going to be track our previous data, our history data, and it recommend which movie or which OTT you will going to be watch, which movies you may like in the future as well. It will take up your preference, watch time, what you had watched in the past, right? So we talk about the Netflix recommendation. Whenever we are talking about a Netflix recommendation, right? It easily goes to the machine learning model. It always going to be learned from the raw data and it give me some pattern behind the data, right? So we do have the real world example such as fraud detection, recommendation system, right? Email and then sales prediction, all the things one by one, which will be happen, right? Yeah. It's always a part of machine learning. And whenever you are talking about difference between traditional AI and then ML. So in the traditional AI, we are having the rule-based system. A rule-based system is there in the traditional AI, right? Traditional AI. But here we are going to learn something from the data. Like say, rule will going to be learned. Rule is going to learn from data. And on the other part, in the previous case, if I talk about traditional AI, in the traditional AI, rule is going to be written. Rule is going to be written manually. Like we are setting up the rule here in a traditional AI. But in ML, a rule is learned from the data. A rule was learned from a data, right? So I hope we can move further. Third one, right? Number three, it's about the deep learning. Deep learning. So whenever we are talking about the deep learning, right? It's going to be always going to be easy for us, right? Because it always inspired by the human, such as a neuron which we are having in our mind. So the thing is that here, it will always work with the neurons. neurons, such as a human we are working as of now. It is a some layer, like say input layer is there, and then we do have hidden layer, and then output layer is there. But the thing is that we are not going to go for the depth as well as we are just trying to understand what are the different fields we are having in the market. Right? And then it always handle deep learning will going to be handle the image, it's going to be handle the speech, that means the audio, and then video as well as. But the thing is that deep learning is a highly structured and highly architectural field and the algorithm which we have to use as well. So deep learning is a domain in which we are going to build a lot of model. So a lot of people had heard the word face recognition system. Face recognition system. So whenever we are talking about the face recognition system, right? Every time it always learns something from our data. Let's say it's going to be learn all the thing will going to be learned from one by one. Number one, eyes, right? Number two, nose from our body, right? Third one, face structure. So it's always going to be learn something from our all the structure of our face, eyes, nose, and then face structure. So that identify the person, to identify the people automatically. It is kind of look like a face recognition system. And if you can also compare with the face ID as well as which we have in our mobile phone as of now, right? So it's also working with the same concept. Self-driving car is also there, right? Face unlock, voice assistant is also there, medical imaging. That was a part of the deep learning. It will work as a human. It will work as a human, such as in the human, we do have the neuron. Same thing goes here. They're also having such kind of thing here, right? And then if we keep move further, number four, we do have the generative AI. In a short form, people will call it a Gen AI, generative AI. So when I have the word generative, that means it's going to be generate a new content using the learned knowledge for me. So let's suppose it's going to be generate whenever the AI can generate a new images, right? New text, new images, right? New code, new videos for me. It always going to be very easy for me to understand. It's going to be generate text, image, code, music as well as right. Yeah. So the thing is that whenever we are going to perform this one, it always going to be easy each and every time. When I talk about the Gen AI, it generated new things for me, text, image, code, video, and each and everything will be happen here, right? So it's going to be kind of look like it's going to be very popular nowadays. Even if I open the ChatGPT from my side, right, and I will say like say I want to generate sick leave mail draft. It's going to be give me a draft for me. What I will do here, I have to put the prompt here. I want to generate a sick leave mail draft. I hit the enter. So whenever AI can generate new things for us, such as the text, if you observe properly here, I can get my mail. I can directly copy from here. I can send it as well, open the email as well. So whenever I click on the copy, I can put it up. I can do the copy from here, and I can edit all the detail from here, and then I can paste in my Gmail. I am ready to go. I don't want to waste my time to write and think each and everything because nowadays people are keep using those tools, AI tools, for a better productivity. And we must have to understand the concept here. We are not going to achieve, we are not going to understand something from our all the data. No. We are going to achieve something because the thing is that nowadays people nowadays they are using a lot of AI tools which will help them to do the better productivity at their work. And we must have to understand this concept and we must have to learn the AI tool day by day and one by one because it's going to be very easy and it's going to be the necessary things which we have to adapt each and every time. If we want to survive, if we want to get better, if you want to compare it with the different people, different mindset, right? So that's the reason I'm going to take this session further today, and we are going to deep dive into the agentic AI part. Okay, let's get started. Okay, it's all about when the AI can generate a new text. It's the proper new text for me. I'm just giving the simple prompt input here, and then I'm getting this out, right? And then if we keep move further, it can also generate the code for me, image, video, audio, all that. And a lot of people here, they are already aware of all the things. So I don't want to waste our time in this, right? Okay, fifth one, which is going to be our main topic here. It's called the agentic AI. So whenever we are talking about the agentic AI, right? So we do have such kind of scene here. We are going to be covered one by one. Okay. What we'll do now, I'm going to give a step-by-step approach for that. Number one, we do have think, right? Yeah. Number one also, we do have the thing. After that, yeah, we do have the reason, right? And the third one, we do have design, right? And then we do have tools. We do have tools. And we do have the action for that. We do have action for that, right? So whenever we are talking about the agentic AI, right? Before we understand the agentic AI, we must have to understand the one concept. We must have to understand a one concept which is called the LLM, which is called LLM. Large, it stands for the large. Yeah, it's going to be stand for the large language model. Right? Keep move further, right? Whenever we are talking about the AI part, whenever we are talking about the agentic AI part, we must have to understand a large language model. Large language model. So LLM stand for a large, right? Large language model. So whenever we are talking about the LLM, right? You can think of it's going to be brain for you. LLM equal to a brain. As a human, we do have the brain, right? It has a power. It has all the capacity here, right? So that's the reason I want to let you know here. If you observe properly here, as a LLM, it working as a brain first. If we have the LLM, if we have the best LLM, it's going to be best. It will going to be give me the best output for that. So think of it as a human, we do have the brain. LLM will work as a brain here. It LLM stand for the large language model. So if you think of this one, large language model, we do have some raw data, right? There are bulk amount of data will be here, and it is going to be trained. It's going to be trained and it's going to be deployed and then saved on a cloud as well as right. And then after doing all the process, we are having one model. It's become the LLM model, right? And if I talk about the large language model, right, it will work based on the different things. If I give you the simple example, a very popular model, if I talk about the different companies' name, ChatGPT, right? If I talk about the Anthropic, ChatGPT is there, Anthropic is there, right? If I talk about the Google, if I talk about there are a lot of different companies. Okay, whenever we are talking about the fourth one is also there. It's called the DeepSeek, right? DeepSeek is also there. So it is a name of the companies, but they do have but they do have a different models. So if I talk about the ChatGPT, they have a GPT model. So nowadays we do have GPT 5.5 or any of the model, right? If I talk about the Anthropic, so in the Anthropic we do have the Opus model, Cloud Opus, right? Cloud is also there. If I talk about the Cloud Opus, right? 4.7 is also there, just for example. In Google, we do have the Gemini. Google Gemini is there, right? Gemini is also there, like say, so equal to be 3, right? Just for example. And if I talk about the DeepSeek, so we also have the model for that in the DeepSeek. So whenever we are talking about this one, right, DeepSeek is a company. It is from the China itself, right? So now every country will have their own LLM, and it is very powerful. It is a very powerful things all around the world. So the thing is that whenever I'm talking about different companies, the different companies they have different they have the different models for that. But whenever we are talking about this one, right? So if I talk about this one, ChatGPT, Entropy, Google, and the DeepSeek, they have the LLM for the GPT 4.5. It's the model. So whenever we are talking about this model, it becomes the large language model. Why? Because it has a large amount of data. If it has a huge amount of data, whenever we are talking about this one, if it has a huge amount of data here, right? So we are going to be covered. It's going to be covered as a large language model, right? Okay. Let's just move further. We will think of it is going to be brain for us. So whenever we are working with here, right? ChatGPT, we are working with the here. So it always trying to call the LLM, large language model, and then we are giving, and it will give me the output as a back for me. Like say calling the LLM, and then LLM will give the output for me here. If you can see the output here, but every time it will use to work on the lot amount of data, large language and model, large language model. It has a large amount of data language. That means it will work with the all the types of language, different languages, and it contains the model for that. So it was built on top of a lot of things. And one more thing, it is a very costly here. It is going to be very costly because of a lot of amount we must have to store somewhere, right? It is so much costly. So that's the reason we cannot create our own LLM. What we are going to do now, we are going to use each and every LLM. If I want to use Opus, what I need an API. If I purchase the API, I have to pay the money for that. If I pay the money and purchase the API, it's going to be very easy for me. It's going to be very easy to I can direct access the LLM which I want to use, right? If I want Gemini, I have to purchase the API for Gemini. If I want the GPT-5, I have to purchase the money. I have to pay the money for the API of the every LLM which I want to use in my work. Okay, I think it's clear now. So let's just move further. Yeah. So now we can easily move further. We can talk. Whenever we are talking about the agentic AI, right? So usually what we'll do here, agentic AI, that means it, in the earlier case, we had discussed the generative web. Here, it can only do this one. It can generate new things for me. That's it. But it cannot do the task for me. Like say, let's suppose I want to, here what we had happen here, here we have, like say if I type, I want to generate the sick leave mail draft. It will give me the output, but I have to open the Gmail. I have to do it myself. I have to do it from myself, right? It cannot do it for me. But here the part will come. It's called the agentic AI. Agentic AI will generate a new thing as well as it's going to be work for you. Like say it look like a personal assistant here. It will perform the task automatically. In the simplest form, agentic AI, that means it's going to be perform a task for you. Task automatically. Just by the single click, it's going to be performed for you. Just by the single click, it's going to be performed for you. So we do have different approaches, different steps here. Think it's there, reason, decide tools, and then action. This is going to be this is going to be life cycle of the agentic AI framework. So whenever we are talking about this, all the thing, right? So a lot of people have heard the word travel agent, right? Yeah. Just for example, let's say I want to build a AI travel agent, AI travel agent, right? So whenever we are talking about the AI travel agent, you must have to understand the concept here. Here the part will come into the picture. It's called agentic. So AI agent will search the flight for you, right? It's going to be search flights for you, right? Number two things, it compare the price for you. It's going to be compare the prices for you. Right? Third one, it books the hotel for you. It's going to be books the hotel for you one by one, right? And the other part, it checks the weather as well as it checks the weather as well as. And at the end, it's going to be scheduled. It's going to be scheduled. It's going to be book hotel for you as well, right? So the thing is that AI will become a lot of smarter day by day. So here we have the example AI travel agent. Whenever I type something like I want to book my trip for the Dubai, just for example, when I type something like I want to book a trip to Dubai or trip to the Bali, just for example. So number one, it always search the flight for me. Searches the flight for me, which are the available flight nowadays from my location to the other location, right? Second thing, it compare the price, which is going to be most smartest thing here because we have to do it manually, right? If we search for the flight, like we have to compare the flight manually one by one, it take a lot of time. But the thing is that here, the AI agent is going to be search the flight for you. If you type the single prompt, book trip to the Bali, it's going to be search the flight, which is going to be nearby your location, right? Number two things, compare the prices for you. It's going to be compare prices for you. Third one, it's called the book the flight. As after the, just for example, sorry for that, searching the flight, compare the price. Third one, it's going to be used and book the hotel for you one by one, right? And as well as it's going to be check the weather as well as. At the last is going to be book a flight as well as. So the thing is that one by one, it's going to be work for you. It can also schedule the itinerary for you, right? At the end, such as the flight, compare the price, book the hotel, check the weather, and then also booking the flight at the end. This is going to be work for the AI agent. So it will look like it will think of a look like a manual thing, like so because all the thing is going to be manual, right? Simple generative AI, it can only give you the searching flight. It cannot book a flight for you. There should be some because the thing is that in all the cases, right, in all the step-by-step approach in this process, we do have some steps which is required the human touch, such as like say if I want to booking the flight, right, I need to give my payment detail because it cannot be I cannot give all the detail to the AI, right? Because nowadays it also happen the cyber security concern will also here, right? So without the manual guidance, it doesn't possible. So but that's the reason behind it is depending only on the brain. Which brain are you using to build something? Because if I use because nowadays most powerful model in the world as of now, it's the cloud model, cloud opus model 4.7 or 4.6. So if you use this kind of model, it's going to be very powerful. You can expect the more outcome. You can expect the more accurate and then precise the outcome whenever we are building something into the agentic AI world, right? So if I talk about this one AI travel agent, we can also build a research assistant. We are also going to build one by one into the best and then better approach. This is all about this thing. But whenever we are talking about this one, think. So as I said, right, it always going to be think first. It's going to be things. After that, it is going to be reasoning for that, like say, which is going to be best for us. So if you can observe our example, search the flight, right? It's going to be think for us. Second thing, it's going to be reason. That means it's going to be uh, find it out which is going to be best for us, which approach, which method is going to be best to get the best out. It's going to be reasoning for us as well. Third one, as I said, decide. Before deciding, it's going to be compared with the other different approach. Like say, make my trip yatra.com is also there are a lot of websites on which we can book a flight. So on which website is going to be very easy, is going to be very discount for you because every website will give you the different discounts, right? So it's going to be give you the better and then best and then lowest budget as per your convenience. Think it will think for you, right? It will do the reasoning for you and it will going to be decide for you. How it actually decide? It decide based on the your priority. Like say if you give like say, this is my budget, I do have the like say 1 or 2 lakhs budget. Is it possible for me? Think and decide for me. It will decide. It will find the one of the best approach all over the internet. And when I talk about the tools, which is also going to be interesting for you, which is also going to be very important for us, right? So the reason behind that, whenever we are talking about the tools, whenever we are talking about the tools, so you can think of a tool as a just for example, like say I want to perform the web search. So it's going to be use a web search tool. Sorry, it's going to be use a search tool. Just for example, searching tool, right?
If I want to work with, if I want to integrate something for my Gmail, like say I want to work with the Gmail, right? So it's going to be use a Gmail tool. It's going to be use a Gmail tool. So tool is something whenever we are talking about the tool, it's going to be very important for us. That's the reason we must have to understand this one. Then we must have to understand this one. So whenever we are talking about this one, right? So without the tool, it can only generate. But if we want to perform the action, we need a tool integration. So that means whenever we are talking about the tools, right? Whenever we are talking about the tools, that means it will perform very well. So tool will going to be external capability. It's going to be external, right? Capabilities. It's going to be external capabilities that allow the AI agent, that allow the AI agents. Tools is going to be the external capabilities that allow the AI agent to interact with the real world, to interact, right? To interact with the world, real world. This is called a tools. So think of this one like say if you want to use a Gmail, if you want to integrate, if you want to automate, if you want to perform, like say I want to AI, I want a one model, I want a one all the models that can send an email, that can send a Gmail to the other people without my guidance, without manually, totally automatic. Then we have to integrate with the Gmail tool. I am giving the access of my Gmail to the agentic AI, to the AI. So the thing is a large language model cannot have the live, cannot have the integrated with all the things. So you can also think of it as an MCP as model context. So usually we'll do a lot of things here. Just for example, I want to use this. I want to integrate with the Google Docs, right? I have to give the permission. I have to give all the access for my Google Docs. So it can create a new document. It can generate and as well. It can also send to the other people. So what I'm trying to say, let's assume I want to work like say I want to work with the WhatsApp. I want something. I want to build a one WhatsApp. I want to build one WhatsApp AI agent. It can work. It can do the automation for me. Like say, it can send the message to other people. It can also solve the query in my group, right? Even if I work with, like say, if I want to work with the Slack as well as, right? If I work with the Discord as well as, right? So whenever we are working with the different applications, if we want to build the AI agent, we must have to give the detail to the tools. So tool is something such as we can also call it as it is a external capability that we are going to give the allow for the AI agent to interact with the real world. Tools are the external capabilities that allows AI agent to interact with a real world, to interact with the real world. So we do have a lot of tools. It's depending on our use case. If I want to integrate something with the Google document, if I want to integrate with the Microsoft Teams, if I want to integrate with the let's say the Wikipedia. So in every use case, we must have to give the access for the different tools. And do not worry, we are also trying to cover. We're also going to cover in the later in our session for the today for the coding part as well. We are also building a one real agent which is working this way. After that, at the end, we do have the action folder. We do have the action folder. So whenever we are talking about the action, right? Whenever we are talking about the action, that means at the end we are supposed to get the output for that. So AI will take the action for us at the end. It will decide based on our all the work. Like say when we think something, AI will think for us, AI agent or the agentic AI part. Whenever we are talking about the agentic AI, it's the field. Agentic AI is the field. But after that, in this case, we do have the AI agent. It will work for us. Think, then it perform the reasoning for us, decide. Then at the end, we're also going to be use some tools based on our work. And at the last, it will do some action for us. So whenever we are talking about the agentic AI, right? So agentic AI is the domain, is going to be domain, right? But a lot of people have also have the confusion for the AI agent and agentic AI. No. So the when I'm talking about the AI agent, right? AI agent is going to be part of the agentic AI. Agentic AI is a domain, but AI agent contains the three things majorly, right? Whenever we're talking about this one, it contains the three things. Number one is the LLM, is the brain for us, right? Second thing, when I talk about it's going to be memory, right? And the last one is going to be tools. as I mentioned earlier. Tools, memory, LLM. So when I have the combination of all of this, it works as a AI agent. But the thing is that we have to build the AI agent into the agentic. So agentic AI is a domain such as the machine learning, right? Such as the deep learning, such as the traditional AI. It is just the domain, but in which we have to understand the AI agent, as we have to discuss in the later in the coding part as well. We are going to build the one AI agent for the today. It has a LLM, that means it's going to be brain, right? So if we do some work, it's going to be used his brain to perform the task, to perform all the action. Number two, memory. So we can also save something. Like say if I want to save something, save my all the chat history, all the thing, I will use a memory. I can also integrate with the Superbase. I can also integrate with there are a lot of different memory will be here on the market. Right. Tools, as I mentioned earlier, whatever the tools, whatever the application you want to use, you want to integrate, you want to perform the action for that, right? You have to integrate here into the tools section. LLM, memory, and tools. These are the three main and major component of a AI agent. And it's come under the agentic AI. Agentic AI is a domain. We can perform task automation. So the thing is AI is not going to be just creating for us. No. AI can create as well as in the agentic world. AI can also take action. AI can also perform the task as a human. As compared to the human, it will perform a task for us. And that's the reason it's going to be more fascinating and it's going to be more interesting day by day. It can perform all the tasks. It can perform the task, automation, all the things for us just by the single click. It's called the agentic AI. Is the domain, is the field in which we have the AI agent. It contains the LLM, brain, and then memory, and then tools as well. So let's going to move further one by one. Let me try to open the PDF as well as let me try to open the PPT, right? It's going to be best for all the people, right? Let's just move further. So till now we had discussed, yeah, till now we had discussed a lot of things. What is the AI? What is the tool coding, right? What are the different things which we have to cover here, right? But whenever we are talking about the agentic AI, as I say, it can think, reason, make decision, and perform the action, right? After that, we also do have the comparison for the different. I'm not going to cover each and everything because a lot of people they are already aware of all the thing, right? And as well as we do have how the agent will actually work. As I said earlier, user will do the query for us. Then we have the LLM brain, right? Reasoning engine is also there, right? At the end, we are going to use some tools and API as well as, and then we do have the memory. And at the end, we are going to get the final response. User query, LLM brain, reasoning engine, and then one by one we are going to do the task for us. Right? User query is also there. User query is there, right? So we do have LLM brain is also there, right? Reasoning engine, tools, memory, and then final response at the end. Let's just move further. Large language model, as I said, right? OpenAI GPT, Google Gemini, Anthropic Claude. It will understand the human language, generate the human like response. All the things will be happening here. So this is how it works. LLM, large language model, is going to be brain for our agentic AI. Tools in the agentic AI, as I said, right? So we are going to use some tools for it. Like let's assume I want to perform tools like I don't have the access to the real-time stock price. But as of now, it's my latest update. Without the tool, I'm getting this response. But if I use the tools, I'm getting the more accurate response. NVIDIA is currently trending at this one. I'm giving the best approach. If I use the tools, if I use any finance tool here, if I use any finance tool here, okay, let's just move forward. This is how it's work, right? Finance agent is there. This agent is also there. A data analysis agent is also there. It can perform the SQL query, all the things will perform. AI brain, searching tool. You can use any tool as per our convenient, internet results, and then from there. Right? Let's just move further. Memory. As I say, right? We have to also going to be deep dive and cover as well as the memory. Because if I want to save something, I will use a memory. Current conversation context, short-term memory, but when I talk about the long term, it will remember for a long period of time. Right? If you also the example is there, season one, season two is there, then we have to work on this one. That's one by one. And I don't want to cover each and everything as per the example. We must have to cover coding part as well at the end. So let's just keep move further. Okay. Memory will be used to do the better personalization, continuous accuracy, and then better user experience. Just for example, I'm allergic to the peanut. That's me the restaurant. So based on the previous history, right? Because I'm allergic to the peanuts. So filter out the restaurant using the peanut oil. And it will really smart based on your response, based on the previous history of the data, because you are allergic to the peanuts. So it's going to be very unhealthy for us. So it will also filter out. It's going to be filter out the restaurant which is using the peanut oil. So we can easily take care over health as well. If you use a AI agent, suggest me the restaurant, then we give the second response. It will always filter out a restaurant using a peanut oil because you had allergic to the peanuts in the past history. This is how the memory will work. It will save your previous history, it will save all the data, and based on the data, it's going to be give you the output as well. Based on the data is always preference, and it will give you the output based on your history, based on your memory. And we also going to save memory. Then we do have the simple framework here. It's called the React framework into the agentic AI world. So if I talk about the React equal to reason plus act, it will always going to be do one by one. Like say it will do thought, action, observation, and answer. Reason that means it's going to be do the reason for us. Just for example, if I do the one example, right? What's the latest NVIDIA AI news? So it will do the thought number one, right? I need to search the recent AI news. Okay, this one. And it's going to be use some tools as well, right? Action will be appear here, searching the NVIDIA AI latest tool for the just for example 2026. Okay. And will be observation will be find out the 5 article about the new Blackwell chip, just for example. And at the end, it's going to be give me the summary for that. So it has a one framework React. It will do the reason. That means it will going to be thought for us. It will perform all the process. It will do the research for us, and it's going to be act for us. Thought, action, observation, and then answer. Thought, action, observation, and then answer. It's going to be called as a React. Re stand for the reasoning. Re stand for the reason, and act stand for the is going to be do the action for us. But before that, it's going to be do a lot of research for us. Just for example, I already provided the example for us, right? It's going to be do the lot of research, reasoning, and then at the end, it's going to be give me the action. And after that, let's just move for the single agent. Whenever we are talking about the AI agent, right? Whenever we are talking about the AI agent, it has a brain, memory, and tools as well. But it has a two different, it has a majorly two types. Number one, single agent. Second, it would be multi-agent. So whenever we are talking about the single agent, right? So the one LLM handle everything, such as it's simple to build, limited by the simple single context, but based for the focus task. Planner is there, researcher, coder, and then review. So whenever we are talking about this single agent, that means if it can only work, it can only perform the one single action, one single task. I will give you the one single task here. It's going to be work for the single task. Let's suppose I want to build one research agent. It's going to be only work for the research. It cannot create a YouTube video for. That's going to be called as a single agent. On the other part, we do have the multi-agent system. That means I'm going to give the multiple tasks. I'm going to work for the YouTube. I'm going to work for, let's say, I want to also do the research as well as right. I also want to perform, like say, it can also work for the Gmail as well as. So the thing is that we are going to build a multiple system, HR system, like say the DevOps system, like say, such as like research system. There are a lot of different domain which we can cover by the multi-agent system. If I build one system, it can handle the HR part, it can handle the finance part, it can also handle the operation part, it can handle the software part, like say DevOps parts, right? So it's going to be work as a multi-agent system. It specialize into the agent collaborate, like it will work with the complex workflows, right? As I mentioned earlier, we can perform the multiple tasks here into the complex workflows. It's going to be work as an enterprise ready as well, right? As I say earlier, enterprise AI workflow, autonomous software teams, complex research pipelines, we can build using a single and multiple. And this is going to be comparison for the single agent. That means it is a single system. It can only perform one single task at a one single time. It does not have the power to build a lot of work, lot of performance, lot of work at a single time. But if you build a multi-agent system, it can also handle the different domains such as HR, finance, and all the different DevOps domains at a single time. It can handle the complex workflows, and it's going to be enterprise ready. We can also deploy. We can also use in the real industry, in the real world. We have the simple example planner. We're going to plan some researcher, code, and then review. This is going to be scaling for the single agent versus multi-agent. And on the other part, if I talk about the real world application, I talk about the real world application. So if you can see things, think of this world like healthcare is there, finance, customer support, marketing, software development. In every domain, in every industry, agentic AI is going to be part of the upcoming future. So the reason behind it, it can handle the work, it can perform the work, it can perform the task for us. Okay, if you remember properly, it does not have any limitation. It can perform all the tasks. In the future, day by day, based on the LLM, we are going to be to perform a lot of tasks. AI system diagnosis based on the monitoring, right? Drug discovery agent is also there. I talk about the finance portfolio analysis. I talk about the customer full ticket resolution, follow up action, right? Software development, AI coding assistant, right? And a lot of ideas also available there in the market, right? I talk about this one. Marketing is also there, right? Campaign automation, all the things. So we do have a lot of things one by one. If I talk about the real world application, if I talk about the real world application, you can have the multiple domain. If I want to build something in the healthcare, finance, customer support, software development. So we can use, we are going to be performed, we are going to be used, we are going to be part of the real world application about the agentic. Let's just move further, right? So we do have something here, agentic AI versus the workflow. That means in the agentic AI, we do have a lot of things here. We have the dynamic decision, and then we do the high priority, all the things. It has a high error handling is not there, right? And setting is also there. So the thing is that when I talk about this agentic AI versus the workflow. So in the workflow, we have the fixed steps, but here we have the dynamic decision. And that is the best advantage of the agentic AI. But in the workflow, we have the simple things, right? And that it does not have any adaptability. It has a one single tool, one, two, and three. If you observe properly here, step number one, two, three, and done. It's going to be very easy. It's going to be very easy, and it doesn't work in the enterprise ready, right? It doesn't work at the industrial level. But here, think, try, fail. Okay, again, it's starting working. Replan, try again, succeed. Again, it's fail. It's again going to be start from scratch. So that's the reason AI agent has a more powerful, it is a more capability as compared to the other people, as compared to the other workflow, or as compared to the other system as well. Right? So what are the challenges we can face is as of now? See, as of now, to be honest, I am not thinking as the challenges, but as per the convenience, you must have to understand as well. Like the tool misuse, right? Hallucination is also one of the part because we are using the LLM, right? It can also hallucinate. Agent may produce the incorrect information or take the wrong decision, wrong action, right? Tool misuse, right? Incorrect tool API code, wrong parameters also there, right? At the end, memory management is there, context limit is scale the data, take the memories, all the things. And if I talk about the security risk, from rejection it can be happen because nowadays there are a lot of news will be coming in the market, right? Like say people are giving all the access to the AI, agentic AI, and then it can erase all the data. Like say just for example, there's somebody giving me the access to the all the agentic AI part that it will give me access to the all the AI, right? So AI can delete. In the past, it also happened, but like say before 2 months ago, AI has deleted the entire database of the company. This is also going to be very important, very security riskable in the future. Unauthorized access, data leakage is also there, right? After that, high compute cost. It has a lot of cost because usually it's going to be cost a lot of times, right? Multiple LLM calls, expensive at a scale, multi-step reasoning, and evaluation part. When I talk about this one, it's going to be evaluation because if you do evaluation one by one, there are a lot of error will be also happening at the back end as well. So how do you monitor and control the AI system that makes the autonomous decision? So as of now, all let's say from all the challenges, I can think of the security risk going to be most important as of now because it has a lot of effect. So if you observe properly, cloud will also introduce the methods for that, right? Cloud methods. It's going to be very security powered model from the cloud. It does not applicate, it does not work for the normal people forever, right? But it only available for the enterprise only. It only available from the industry as of now. It has a lot of power. It is very powerful. It is a way beyond powerful as compared to the Opus as well. It's called the cloud mythos. Yeah, now it is also popular. But as of now, from all of the challenges, I can feel that this security risk is going to be it's going to be very popular as of now, as per the challenges all over the agentic AI world. Let's just move further. What will going to be the future? AI employee in every company, right? Browser agent navigating the web, As we saw here, right? There are a lot of browsers all over the internet, right? It can also do the work as well as autonomous research agents, a operating system, self-improving agent, right? This is going to build. Now, what we are going to cover here today, let's just move further and build. Let's just move further and going to be build. We are going to have the live demo. I don't want to write any code as of now because we already have all the code, right? I have already prepared something for you. Let's just move further. Let's get started as well as right. Yeah, this is the VS code that we already aware of this one. Right? So let's just move further. So what we are going to build today, advanced agentic AI project we are having today using the Gen, look using the long chain. It is a framework to build the AI powered application. Long chain is a framework. Google Gemini, LLM, React Agent, tool calling, DuckDuckGo search is the Wikipedia tool, and we have the UI, the rich terminal UI for that. We have the one by one thing, one by one step for that. So the thing is that we are going to do the step by step approach. Okay, let's say I have the feature now that what is going to be the project architecture. Let's try to understand this. User will type the query. It will go to the LLM. It will use a React reason plus action reasoning. It's going to be choose tool selection based on our input, based on our query for it, right? Tool selection is also happen. Then tool execution will happen. After selecting tool, let's suppose I'm going to use, or let's say the AI will use the Wikipedia. Then going to be execute a tool execution at the end, and then it will do the observation for it. Then it will perform the observation. At the end, it's going to be give the final response for me. So this is the core structure. This is going to be our project structure as per our convenient, right? But before we move further, before we run the project, I want to show you the main file which we have it today. It's called the main.py. Python file is there, right? Step number one, we are going to import all the required libraries. We are going to be import all the required library one by one, right? So it's going to be better for us if you understand each and everything as per the convenient, right? And after that, we are going to be load some environment for us. As I say, load.env. As I say, load.env. Step number one, always try to import the required library from the different required package. So if I open this requirement.txt file, I had already mentioned each and every, I had already mentioned each and every different libraries which we have to use, which we are going to use for the project as well, right? After that, let's go back to the main.py file. I had used a Wikipedia because I am going to use a Wikipedia as a tools, right? So it will fetch the data from the Wikipedia itself, right? And in the .env folder, in a .env folder, we are going to give, I'm going to give the API for my LLM. I'm going to use Gemini as of now, Google Gemini. So I need to give the API for that, Gemini API for that. Okay. And how do we create this one? How do we create this one? We have to go to our website for that, right? And it's called the Gemini. It's going to be called Gemini API key, right? The search for the Gemini API can, we will go to the Google AI Studio. Okay. Then we can easily create an API. Then we can go back to this one .mv folder and we have to paste the API key here. Okay. Now let's just move further. We had used all the thing here. I had used the line chain. I had used the reach for the UI part, right? And for the different framework, I want to use it. So from the .env, import the load.env. I'm talking about .env is there. Okay, let's just move further. Now, if we observe properly here, whenever we are talking about this one, whenever we are going to be work, whenever we are talking about this one by one steps, it's going to be really easy for us, right? Then we had we had used a console for that, which is going to be very easy and understandable for us, right? This one by one is also there. So whenever we are talking about this one, right, load env is there. So before that, I'm going to use here this. It's for the UI console is there, console equal to console, right? Print the console and each and everything. It will say Gemini, Langston and React, and border cell will be bright blue. It is a UI. We have to give the console UI. When I run the project, you will get a lot of idea for that, right? Then the main part is going to be called as the brain of the agent. It's called LLM. It's called LLM part. LLM equal to a chat Google generative AI. Then we need to choose a one model for us. This is my model. It's my LLM model, Gemini 2.5 plus. After that, I'm going to give the temperature. I have to set the temperature. It's going to be very important because based on this one, AI will give the answer. AI will give the answer to. After that, let's just move further because if we use a zero point 0.3 as a temperature, it's going to be very stable for us because if we give one, it's going to be more creative, which we don't want. Zero, that means it's going to be very factual, which we also don't want. So always try to set the temperature between zero point 0.3 to zero point 0.5 or 7 for a better approach, right? This is how we choose a Gemini model. Number one, choose a Gemini model. After that, as I told earlier, right, we are going to be work with the different tools. Number one, as I say, searching tool. It will search all over the internet. It's called the DuckDuckGo search tool. If I search on the Google as well, right? DuckDuckGo. If I talk about the DuckDuckGo, right? This is going to be a DuckDuckGo tools for as well as right. It's going to be searched all over the internet. So DuckDuckGo is a tool. It will search for us all over the internet. It's going to be used as a searching. Let's say user will ask us what is the latest news about the agentic AI, right? It will go for the web, it will go for the web search and it will search for us, right? Right. It will search internet, read the result and summarize the finding for us as well. Right? After that, you must have to create the tool as well. This is how we introduce this tool search equal to search variable equal to DuckDuckGo search run. Right? At the rate, we have to give the one sign at the rate and tool for. After that, what we have to cover here, def. We are defining the one function. It's called the web search. As I say, right? We have to define the web search, Wikipedia tool. We also have to perform the calculator tools. It can perform the calculation for us, right? And then as well as we also going to convert all the tool at a one single time. Definition, like say, we have to define. Def stand for the def, stand for the define. We are creating the one function, right? One by one. So it will do all the thing. It will perform all the task for us, right? So if you observe properly here, number one thing here, search the latest information from the internet. I'm giving the prompting here. Web search is the query and then str tag on the string value. Yeah, I'm getting the string value at the end as well, right? That means the text data. Returning the search value, search dot run. Number one tool is decided. It's called the web search tool. So we have the web searching tool. Second thing, Wikipedia tool is there. Third one, depth calculator is going to be a calculator tool is also. So we do have the multiple tools. Web search, Wikipedia, calculator tool is also there. And then we are going to use try and accept. If some tool will give me the error, you have to keep with the other tool. You have to use the different tools one by one. After that, I'm gonna create a one things as a tools equal to web search. I'm going to introduce one by one tool at a single tools list as well. I'm going to create a one list for all the tools, web search, Wikipedia tools, and calculator. After that, let's just move further. I'm going to give the prompt. Hub.pull is going to be prompt. I'm going to pull the prompt. I don't want to write a prompt. I'm going to pull a prompt from these particular things. It's going to be very easy for you. Okay, when you understand, when you try to learn something. Hub.pull, and this is going to be your link for it. If you want to if you want to build something as per the more convenient as well, right? Yeah. Let's just move further after that. What we have it as of now, we do have the agent. Now I'm going to create the agent. Create the reject agent, that means it can do the reason as well as the acting. LLM tools prompt. So I do have the LLMs here, large language model, as I defined here, LLM. Then we do have the tools. Tools is my list, right? LLM tools, and the prompt is also there. So I'm going to do LLM tools prompt. So the agent equal to now, agent execution equal to LLM tools prompt. Create a React agent tools LLM prompt. And then I want to do the execution at the end, right? As an agent. Executor is also there. Agent equal to agent, tools equal to tools. And then we do have the verbose. Then we do have the verbose equal to, like, say, it will also working on the runtime engine. Run the reasoning, execute the tool, manage the workflow. Run reasoning, execute the tools, managing the workflow. Then we had choose the verbose true. That means this shows the internal reasoning lab. When I choose the verbose equal to true, that means I can also see what was happening in the past, what was happened behind the scene. So that's the reason I want to see what are the things will actually work when I run the code, right? Verbose equal to true is also there. So after that, what we'll do after that, I'm going to give the title as well as right. Just for example, I'm going to give the demo table. What will happen here? And then we are giving the loop for that. While loop is also there, like say it will happen one by one. If the query is low or exit right, one by one is break right, one by one is also going to be happen. Before we move further, because now I'm going to run the code, right? Let's just move further. Okay. Now after that, I'm going to click on the three dot at the top, right? Choose the terminal, click on the new terminal. So I had already created the virtual environment, right? This is also there. Dot this VAV is also there, right? What I want to do now, I just want to run the code Python main.py to execute the code, right? So when I execute the code, it's going to be use the Gemini API LLM. It will call the LLM of the Gemini API, Gemini 2.5 flags, and it will give me this. So if you observe properly here, can you see Agentic AI system is there? Gemini, Langchain, Rake is also there. You can see it here. It's going to be my console UI. This one, Agentic AI system, Gemini, Langchain, and Rake also there. And do not worry, this is going to be just the warning for us. Okay, you can also take care of the warning. Okay, but I don't want to waste our time in that way. Okay, console UI is also there. Gemini, Langchain, Rake is there, right? After that, this is our output. This is our live demos idea is also there. If I talk about this one, live demos ideas, I'm getting the query for that. I don't want to type it, but I can directly copy and paste here. What is going to be happen here? One by one is also happen here. Who is the Sundar Pichai calculator? It will use a calculation tool. Number one, it will use a web search tool, calculation tool is also the research tool is there. All the thing will be happen. Let me try to give the one example here. Who is the Sundar Pichai, right? I'm going to copy from here and paste it here. When I paste the prompt, I just want to hit the enter here. Agent will think, right? So if you observe properly, it is going to be give me the output for that. Can you see? Yeah. Even if I let me try to zoom in for all the people, so yeah, it's also better for us. This is our output. Number one, I'm giving the simple prompt. Who is the Sundar Pichai? AI will think. AI agent is going to be thinking, and it's going to be use the Wikipedia. So it will search on the Wikipedia, and if you observe properly, this is how we got out from the Wikipedia. It will do the searching from the Wikipedia. If you observe one more thing using the Wikipedia tool, it will give me all the detail of the Sundar Pichai as well as if you observe properly, and it will choose a final answer for me, right? And at the end, using all the chain, I'm getting the output. So for a better use case, I'm going to use a rich UI. This is the UI. Okay. If you observe this kind of output, you must have to give the UI. So I'm going to use a rich UI for my use case, right? Let me try to do one more example, right? This is the second one example. Calculation of this one. This one. I'll copy from here, right? Let me type, let me give it a try here and hit the enter. So now if I run the second one, it's going to be used, obviously, it's going to be used the calculation tools. Calculate tools there, right? And then it know the answer for it as well. And it gives me the final answer. So every time when I give the prompt, it always go to the tools and it decide which tool to use. If I think like say, can you please calculate? If I just think of it as well, like say, can you please calculate, like say 100 minus 20. It's going to be used the calculation tool for us. 100 minus 20 is going to be used the calculation tool for us. Let me try to give the third example as well as right. This one and try to copy from here and then give it to you. Right. And I will paste it here. So when I use this prompt, if you observe properly, I'm going to use this one by one. It's also there, right? I need to provide the API key as well. Okay, it's not going. I need to provide the API key as well. Okay, that's the other case. Okay, that's okay, fine. But you can think of this one. You can build something. You can build a lot of things here. It's totally up to you. You can build a lot of things. You can build a lot of different multi-agent system using the different multiple tools by the agentic. This is how it's work. And today we had built a one research assistant, one research AI agent by this use case. If you observe properly, we do have a lot of code. This is about all the code. Okay, we had used the rich UI, Wikipedia tools. All the tool is also there for the tooling. Number one, web search is also there, Wikipedia tool, and then we have the calculator. And if you observe properly, the output. Yeah, whenever I'm giving the input as a prompt, it's going to be used a tool spot. This is how it's work, right? This is how it's work. This is how we can build the agentic AI. This is how we can build the agentic AI framework. It is just the demo for us. Okay, I don't want to waste our time that much. We'll come to this main part. This is how it works, and this is all about this is all about the AI agent. This is all about the agentic AI agent. If you observe properly, this is how it works, and it's going to be the future of the AI agent. AI powered employee is also the AI company. So if you observe properly, AI employees and every company, browser agent navigating the web, autonomous research engine is there, AI operating system will be happen in the future. Self-employing agent. So the thing is, we must have to understand. We must have to understand the concept of the agentic AI. We must have to build this kind of project, this kind of work as a framework in our day-to-day life. And it is going to be most important, most useful for thing for us, right? We must have to keep learning one by one. And today, I discovered a lot of things for the today, one by one, what is going to be best for us, right? And we had already built one research agent from the scratch in a VS Code in the Python for the coding part, right? So if you observe properly today, we can discuss a lot of things. This is how it works, right? So it was all the done in the simplest approach, right? And let's just end our session for the today. And I hope we can meet further. We can meet in the future as well for the more and more interesting sessions from my side. I had given my best from my side. Okay. That's all from my side. Okay. Bye bye. Thank you. Take care.